Hey, fellas.
Fellas.
Welcome back to the Fellas Show. We're here on this Tuesday.
July 27th.
Correct.
Nice. Nailed it. Right off the rip. It's going to be a great day.
We know the date.
We know the day.
We know
First time ever.
the time. 10:04. And we know everything.
Debatable. We've had some sports go on in the past day.
Who would believe it?
Baseball happened yesterday.
Baseball did.
Sucked. It always sucks now. The trade rumors are more entertaining than baseball itself at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Max. Apparently, the Padres and the Rays are just going to buy everyone. Everyone's going to the Padres or the Rays. Max Scherzer, Chris Bryant. It's crazy that a team that... I don't think there's any other sport where you can go underneath the luxury tax and then mid-season go over the luxury tax.
Yeah.
That's
No, I
kinda
don't.
crazy.
Definitely not. It would be very difficult to do in
Any other sport.
anything. It would take a
I mean,
concentrated
you can't even
effort.
go over the cap in two sports.
It would take
More than Stephanie.
a lot of willpower and a very long-term plan that does not involve your team's success if you want to do that in like basketball.
Yeah, no, there's just no way you can make it work. But yeah, so they are definitely going to go over the luxury tax, especially if they get either one of those players.
True.
But, Olympics this morning.
Boys, there are a lot.
Yeah. There has been some shit going on overnight and this morning. Probably the main one. Simone Biles is out at the Olympics with a non-physical injury, and the U.S. Women's Olympics team took silver behind the Russian Olympic community, and then the Great Britain team took bronze, which, after we talk about Simone, I want to talk about the Great Britain team, because that's a hell of a thing.
GB.
That's a crazy accomplishment, the fact that they got that.
But what happened to Simone Biles?
No one really knows. So I watched a video of her vault. She immediately comes off the floor, and you can see she's talking to her coach. And you can tell she's not like... I mean, you can only see the back of her. You can't tell her facial expressions or anything, but you can tell there's like a talk going on. There's clearly something being talked about. Because one of the teammates, I forget her name, Suni, maybe, came over too. And you can see it's just like a talking. Like, it wasn't a celebration. It wasn't talking about the actual performance. You could tell they were talking about something.
Yeah.
There's been no really reports of anything going on besides an Olympic coach told NBC that it was a non-physical injury. So I'm going to guess it's a mental injury, or
Right.
something mentally. I
Yeah.
know she looked slightly off in her first qualifiers. She kind of messed up like one move on every one of her events, which is very unlike her. I didn't see her actual performance this morning, but I'm going to guess that something's going on.
Well, so I've been popping around since I heard this to find any kind of reason.
This happened probably like 45 minutes ago.
Yeah, I've been trying to find any kind of reason as to why this happened. It looks like it's a weird... She's definitely at somewhere in terms of the pressure on her shoulders that is greater than, or just amounted to something greater than what she's experienced in the past. She made an error today on her vault. She completed a 1.5 twist when it was supposed to be 2.5, which, I don't exactly know how significant that is, but a writer for the New York Times, Maggie Astor, said that Simone Biles makes mistakes sometimes, but I have never, not once, seen her bail out of a vault like that. To bail out a full twist ahead of when. So that's already something that's like, what is going on with her?
I knew a couple gymnasts in high school. I knew two gymnasts. One really good, went to Utah University. She's still there, actually. The one thing I always heard, because we always went to this open gym called Twin City Twisters in Minnesota, and it was like this huge gymnastics place that every Friday night they open, or like Wednesday night they open it up to the public. And as like middle schoolers, we'd go there and like jump in the ball, like the foam pits and the bars, and like swing around and stuff. It was awesome. But The one thing I was always told is if you don't go 110%, you're going to break your fucking neck.
Yeah, that's how you get hurt.
That is if you don't give it your all out every single time you run down that runway or you're flipping on the bars, they're like, you're going to land on the back of your neck and you're going to get hurt. So, if Simone, even if it's she had a bad morning or anything, like this
Right.
isn't, we're not talking mental problems here, like this could go as basic as she didn't feel good this morning or she had a bad night or had a bad morning, just not like she's not mentally
that
all there
110%.
today. This doesn't have to be, oh my god, Simone, too much pressure, blah blah blah. But no, she could have had an off morning and been like, hey, I just had to bail out of that. Like, I'm not going to go further because I'm going to break something. Like, I'm not in the mental state to be doing this right now. Because after, you could tell, like, what it seems like to me is if she really had a mental, like, a serious mental pressure, like, folding underneath the pressure. I wouldn't say folding underneath the pressure. I don't think anyone could handle the pressure that she's put under. But you would think that she'd, like, bust out in tears, go to the locker room real quick, like, something along those lines. But no, she stood there. She starts screaming for her teammates. She starts, like, grabbing all the pads and, like, doing everything for her teammates. She's the first one to congratulate the Russian Olympic Committee on their gold. She goes over there and claps for them and everything. Like, I think she just wasn't there and doesn't want to get hurt. Because if you bail out of a 2.5 twist with only a 1.5 twist, something right here is not, like, you're being held back by something. So I don't know. It's very interesting. I'm interested to know more about it and what she has to say about it. Because I'm not going to listen to anyone else besides what comes out of her mouth.
Alright, well, the only reason I mentioned that pressure thing is because earlier in the week, she had an Instagram post that said, I truly do feel like I have the weight of the world on my shoulders at times. I know I brush it off and make it seem like pressure doesn't affect me, but damn, sometimes it's hard. So that's like... I don't like look at her Instagram that actively, but it seemed like the reaction, that's not something that she normally brings up, is
Definitely
the
not.
pressure. That doesn't seem to...
You're a 23-year-old with every single eye in the United States looking at you, expecting you to be the greatest thing that's ever walked and lived.
Yeah. So...
Like, that's crazy to me, that at 23 you were getting called the greatest at something.
Yeah.
MJ didn't get called the GOAT till he was, 32 probably?
Yeah.
30? LeBron is still not, still people don't even think he's the GOAT. There's not one person that does not call Simone Biles the GOAT.
Right.
She's 23, 24? I'm going to get that wrong.
It was just the reporting of this was so weird because the Associated Press said it was an apparent injury, and then the coach was like, it's not an injury, it's a mental issue.
Yeah, because she was running around after. Like, you could see she wasn't hurt. But I don't know. That sucks. It sucks that she had to pull herself out. Because I'm sure if there's one person in the world that is a little on the edge right now, it's her.
Yeah.
Can you imagine, like, just what she's thinking right now about everyone at back home? I'm sure she went on Twitter once and was like, holy shit. Like,
right.
What a shit show. The backlash has been moderate so far.
Yeah, I can't imagine anyone's going to be...
Oh, there is. People that can't believe that she'd actually bail out and stuff like that.
Well, I can't believe it either.
I mean, I can't believe that she did either.
I can't believe it.
I respect the decision.
But yeah, I'm not going to be mad about it, but I
like,
cannot
if you're
believe
that person, like if you are the GOAT and you still drop out of an event or like drop out of the Olympics, there's clearly something very wrong. Like,
right.
Imagine LeBron on a non-injury just being like, yeah, I can't play in these finals anymore. And everyone being like, excuse me, what?
The other thing to consider is, although this is the team finals, there are, other events.
We saw the individual.
I believe there's. We'll have to look at the schedule again, but I
wasn't sure how all the.
I'm pretty sure that there's.
Individual.
There hasn't. I know there's been some of the qualifiers for individual, and I think there maybe been.
Yeah.
One or two.
I didn't know.
There's definitely still a couple more.
I didn't know if that was the qualifying for this morning kind of thing, or if this was just like a team event. I'm not sure.
So this was the team finals.
Okay.
So.
I'm not sure how all that works.
Basically, this was for the medals.
Yeah.
No more qualifying.
Gotcha.
This was and then
individuals after. But beside all that, beside the negative that came through this, Russian Olympic Committee takes gold. That definitely was not supposed to happen. USA still takes silver without Simone, which is hella impressive. That's crazy impressive. And then the bronze medalist, Great Britain. I don't know much about their story, but I saw a couple people talking about it, and I was like, huh, what's going on? It's their first medal in women's gymnastics for Great Britain since the very first women's gymnastics Olympics in 1928. So it's been 100 years. They have 16-year-old twins on their team, and apparently they like barely made it to qualifiers. They like scraped by inches. They made it to qualifiers. They were supposed to be almost dead last in the team competition. They weren't supposed to have any shot at a medal. And in the last event, they pulled just barely ahead of Italy to snag a medal. And I watched videos and like pictures of those Great Britain girls, and they were all like sobbing uncontrollably on their knees on the ground. Like you could tell how big of a deal it was. So that's really cool to see that something good came out of it, because it does suck that the U.S. women's took silver, but at the same time, there was a good story that came out of it.
Yeah.
So good for Great Britain.
So it looks like as far as women's finals individual event ones, looks like there's still the beam. It'll be on next Tuesday. Floor next Monday. Vault and it's cut off on Sunday. And then it looks like on Thursday there's an all-around final as well.
Okay.
So I'm assuming she'll still be in these. As of now, we haven't heard any different.
Yeah, this is still very, very fresh, so I'm waiting. And like I said, I listened to the thing about her coach saying it was non-physical because it made sense, and it came from a coach, actually.
Yeah.
But I will not listen to another word until it comes out of Simone's mouth.
I think the whole twist thing is interesting, because to bail out a full twist early is not... You're not sending it. It's not like you made it halfway and then messed up and landed on the ground. It's like you kind of knew.
She knew as soon as she hit that springboard that
Right.
she was not.
So she bailed early. I just don't know if, like, as far as mental, like, if, like what you were saying, if it's all that pressure thing, or if it's just, like, just not the mindset that day.
Yeah.
And she don't want to get hurt.
Yeah, because
doing
she's trying.
this, 'cause
She's
there's
trying
3,
moves
4,
that
5
no one
more
has,
events.
Yeah, and she's doing moves that no one else in the world can do.
Right.
Like, these are not easy moves. Where if you're at 99% and not at 100%, you might snap your ankle in half because you under twist something. Like, you could get extremely hurt trying the shit. I mean, trying the shit that any of these girls do are fucking nuts. And you
True.
might be psycho.
Yep.
But to try the moves that Simone's trying, like, if she screws up even a little bit, like, that knee could get blown out. Like, she could land awkward. Like, it's just, ugh. Bad. And rather than just bailing out and being like, I'm not doing this, I'm not getting hurt, she could have actually hurt herself and probably ended half of her career. So I have no problem with the bailout. I have no problem with her taking a seat and letting her team take over. And I mean, she still acted like a great teammate. Like, she's still still a GOAT.
Yeah,
like, still acted like the GOAT even though she wasn't performing. Like, it's just clearly... Yeah. If anyone says shit about her, I'll knock you out. More Olympics. Dude, the U.S. sucks in the Olympics this year. We're not good at, like, anything.
It's early days, bro. It's early days.
We lost to softball to Japan. Good for Japan. We lost 2-0 this morning. That happened like a half hour ago. That's the first softball back in, 30 years or something?
Yeah.
Something like
Long
that.
time.
Long time. I don't know how long it's been since we had softball, but it's been a while. I saw another one, too. Oh, the U.S. women's national team, basketball team, only beat, except women's basketball, yeah. But they only beat Nigeria by 9, and I don't know how good the women's Nigerian team is, because I think they might be okay, because I think that's... Hang on.
Dude, the USA women's team is the only basketball team we should care about.
Yeah,
because instead of ending a 22-game streak, they pushed their streak of winning Olympic basketball games to 50. We don't need to worry about the men
50?
no more. We don't have to worry about the men no more.
No,
These
screw the
women,
men,
the
dude.
Team USA women's basketball is gonna carry us to a gold. We just gotta follow them.
Also, oh shit, we missed 3v3 last night. I wanted to watch that. Damn it.
Oh yeah.
I really want to watch 3v3 basketball really badly. I think it'd be fun to watch. But yes, we did beat Nigeria. The women's team did beat Nigeria by 91 to 82, I think I saw. So they proved their dominance once again.
81 to 72.
81 to 70. As they will continue to do. It's probably the one sure bet for the U.S. right now is the women's team. Because the men's team fucking sucks. God, they're bad. Katie's a snake. There's rumors that he already has a citizenship in France already.
We'll see if he breaks out the baguettes and takes a plane.
So, you're gonna see him come out of the next plane sipping tea or something and be like,
Dude, I wish I had some tea.
Football. There's football things today.
Okay.
We could start with a little bit of football talks. Logan Thomas agrees to a 3-year extension with the Washington football team.
Solid.
That's a good move.
It's a solid football move.
That's a solid football team move.
Yeah.
Yes, 3-year extension. That team's gonna be good this year. They are gonna be solid. I just feel like they keep getting better and better. I have yet to see something that I'm like, ooh, that's gonna hurt them. What else?
We're just pretending Fitz is gonna be Fitzmagic the whole time. We're just
I am.
We're just gonna pretend.
They took that Dolphins team away from him, and he's gonna be like,
Yeah.
this team's fucking mine. I'm not letting it go.
He did say that basically.
Yeah.
Something very, very similar to that.
Yeah.
He's like, this has been the best team that's true. Because, the Dolphins, he's like, this has been the first team that truly feels like my team.
That was the saddest
and
thing.
then,
like, literally the week before they put him on the bench. Like, it's literally, Fitz is like, I really feel like this is my team. Like, this is for the first time in my life. Like, 4 days later, like, hey, Fitz, you're going to take a seat. And he's like, are you serious? Like, you could have told me that before I did that press conference. Made myself look like an ass. But yeah. No, this is his team now, damn it. Dolphins disrespected him, and Fitzmagic is going to be Fitz revenge this year. He's going to throw for 4,700 yards, 47 touchdowns, and 46 interceptions. And I can't wait. Other news. It sounds like the Green Bay Packers have officially persuaded Aaron Rodgers for one more year.
Yeah.
And that's all they're going to get out of him, it seems like, one more year. They negotiated a little bit where 2023 option and Aaron Rodgers' contract is completely voided now. There is no 2023 in the contract. They are not able to franchise tag him in 2023. That is also part of the contract. And it is also in the contract that they have to... It's like they have to look at a contract with Aaron Rodgers at the end of the season or something along the lines of like... I feel like that's just more of a verbal agreement of like, hey, we'll reevaluate after the end of the season, but... Interesting. I really, really didn't think he was going to stay.
I did.
I think it was more the fact that I didn't want him to stay.
Yeah.
I had it in the back of my mind. Because I did, but then at the end of the day, I really don't because of the jersey I'm wearing at the moment. Like, I'd just rather him not be in my division. Any other division would be fine. More football. There's a lot of football. Two women with new allegations among 10 to file police complaints against Texans QB Deshaun Watson. So this is apparently
supposed to give 5 picks and starters for this guy. Yeah, I don't know. Just keep him out of here. Keep it.
10 women have now filed complaints with Houston police about Texans quarterback Deshaun Watson, according to Watson's attorney. His attorney spoke with ESPN on Monday. There are 10 women that have made complaints to the Houston police. 8 of the women, according to Harden, are among the 22 women who have alleged in lawsuits that Watson sexually assaulted them or engaged in sexually inappropriate behavior during massage sessions. 2 of the women who have filed complaints with Houston police have not filed lawsuits against Watson. So there's more. There is more.
Yeah, I think...
This has gone from when it first came out, everyone's like, no way. Like, there's just no way. This is clearly made by the Texans to try and try and get Deshaun Watson.
I don't know if anyone ever thought this was clearly false allegations by the Texans organization.
In my school, it was.
Really?
It was a full-on, and trust me, the women in my school are absolute, woman power, woman in sports, obviously, being from a sport management major. I saw a lot of, and the one that's Katie is going to be a lawyer, even said, I've been digging into this for a while now, and cannot find one thing that says that Deshaun Watson actually did this. And that's crazy because I at first was like, oh, if I see allegations of 22 women, I'm obviously going to assume that Deshaun Watson did it. But there was a lot of pushback that I did not expect.
It's not that I'd assume that he's guilty. I just wouldn't assume the Texans necessarily were involved. Just to what, decrease his trade value when he wants out, and then he just won't play for anybody. How do they get out of that?
To be fair, no one's trading for Deshaun Watson right now.
Right, but so they did it to himself because he doesn't want to play there.
He will though.
You think?
Yeah, he's not going to take a year off. It's Deshaun Watson. He's in his prime.
The Texans aren't.
Yeah,
It's a legitimate question. Would it honestly be a better move to not play for that team this year? For your general health. And for your general longevity.
For your general health and general longevity, because if he puts up a dud of a season,
yeah, true,
it affects him immensely.
And if he takes any kind of injury.
And the fact that he didn't put up a dud of a season last season is impressive, but dude, there's only so much you can do with a shitty team.
It's a lot harder to do that consistently with a bad team.
Especially if they don't have an O-line to protect. Yeah, honestly, now that's tough because taking a year off of football as a QB and just all the other things that go into that. But honestly, I think as far as his reputation and everything, he's probably better off taking a year off. So at least we remember the Deshaun Watson that balled out on a shitty team rather than Deshaun Watson that struggled on a shitty team kind of thing. Because hey, the guy has clearly proved us wrong multiple times and how good he is with how bad of a team he's on. But at some point, you're in the NFL. It's going to show through. You can't just keep doing that. He's going to be the next Matthew Stafford if he stays on that damn team. His numbers are fucking crazy, though.
Yeah.
His numbers are absolutely insane on that team. So we'll see what happens with little Deshaun. I don't know. I have no opinion on this whatsoever because I have no idea what's right or wrong. I have seen so many different things and just I have seen no budging from Watson's side.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. That's all fucking fake. No way in hell. We're not going to settle. Nothing. Absolutely not. No way in hell. But 22 women?
It's a lot.
That's a fucking lot. If it was 2, I'd be okay. Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. But 22? Yikes. Also, how do you... Never mind. If he did, how do you sexually assault 22 massage therapists? Where do you even find 22 massage therapists, first of all? I guess you're traveling and shit. But
but still, that's a...
So what? It's just your tradition to go around and...
It's 22 massages.
And you just it's just
a lot of
tradition to
and then
do something. You're fucking dude. If that is real, you're a weirdo. And
that's that's serial.
That's
type
for an NFL QB.
Very very strange. I guess if that's his calling card, I don't know.
Yeah.
But man, is that weird.
I think you could put that energy into something else, maybe. Mr. Lacrosse himself has found a new team.
Chris Hogan?
Chris Hogan. I love that you knew what it was.
So it's every single funny. Announcer's fault.
No, it's just the Super Bowl. That Super Bowl. Yeah. I think I heard it 8 times in that one game.
Penn State lacrosse, Penn State lacrosse, Penn State lacrosse. It's at one point.
Kind of cool though. He's on the New Orleans Saints. So you got a blind man throwing to a lacrosse player. That should be interesting.
He's not a blind man. He got eye surgery. And he's not a lacrosse player. He's in the NFL.
What are the chances that Jameis Winston had fine eyesight and allegedly got the surgery to blame it on his eyesight?
No, I'm sure I don't think at any point was he blaming his performances on his eyesight.
No, neither did
I'm
I.
sure he wore contacts.
Think about how funny it would be, though, if you threw for 30 and 30 and, like, oh, shit, people probably think I'm a bad QB.
Yeah.
It was because I couldn't look. I couldn't see anything. I got LASIK.
Bro.
I'm better now, I promise.
No, I'm going to go ahead and...
Say that's probably not
I'm going to say he had contact lenses. But if he didn't, and my guy was going full blur, shout out to Jameis.
Oh, God.
He's playing on hard mode.
I came across my mind the other day, and I was like, what if
Now
he
it's like...
actually didn't have eye problems, and he just did that just to, like, change the narrative? Because you notice how no one's talking about how bad Jameis Winston was last season? Because, I mean, he wasn't.
He wasn't.
He wasn't bad. But, like, no one's talking about the fact that he just lobbed up, like, 30 interceptions because, like, oh, no, it's fine. He couldn't see. It's because he couldn't see.
I don't know, man. I think he still gets his fair brunt of 30 interception.
Yeah. I mean, it's also because Jameis, too.
Yeah.
Like,
well, then
Jameis has done a lot of stupid shit
Yeah.
to where, like, just think about this man's, like, whole career, right?
Mm-hmm.
Florida State gets caught stealing crab.
True. I forgot about that.
Gets caught stealing, like, a $15 crab.
Yeah.
Or, like, multiple $15 crab. Next biggest highlight. Jameis Winston eating W's in a in a pregame huddle. The worst pregame speech I've ever seen in my life. Talking about eating W's.
That was bad.
So he goes from stealing crab to eating W's to getting LASIK surgery as an NFL QB. Wouldn't you think there's like an eye test maybe to be an NFL QB? Maybe. Like I get it, you got contacts in and shit. Like you think you'd have to have like a certain degree of eyes. If you get LASIK, doesn't that mean your eyes are pretty bad?
No, not necessarily.
Okay.
Not necessarily. Like, obviously, you wouldn't just get it. It's a pretty expensive procedure just to get for, like, a
I thought you
thing.
had to meet, like, a certain threshold to even get LASIK. Like, I thought your eyes had to be, like, and maybe that's different for professional athletes because they can just...
Yeah, I think that might be more of an
yeah.
insurance,
Okay.
maybe. But I think you can get it for a moderately, like...
I know it's not
I'm not,
overly
like,
expensive.
blind, but I could get LASIK.
My brother's wife got LASIK. Said, like, changed her life.
Yeah,
she literally
that's what you always hear.
She said that she walked out of the hospital, like, crying because she could actually, like, see everything. Like, really crazy. She was emotional
It's
for,
an
like, 2 days.
insane
It's crazy.
procedure, though. That freaks... Dude, I can't even put, like, eye drops in. The thought of LASIK...
Lasers going in your eyes.
It's just, like, literally burning. Oh, it's scary. Maybe one day.
Saquon is supposed to play in the preseason. Looks like Pat Mahomes wants to play in the preseason, but Joey Burrow will probably not play in the preseason. I don't know if he's not quite ready yet, or it's more precautionary because that O-line is still going to get him killed. It's better. It's better than what it was last year. But it is still an O-line that he could tear an ACL behind. Quarterback Joe Burrow is fully cleared for football activities. However, don't expect the team to rush its franchise quarterback back into action as he continues recovering from a devastating knee injury.
That makes
So
sense.
he is cleared. For
I thought I saw it was cleared, but...
all football activities, but yeah, probably will not be in preseason. Probably a pretty good idea.
Yeah, why would you
I
put him in the
wouldn't
preseason?
blame him for that.
Let's keep him out of there.
Magna Carta. Jameis had his Gatorade bottles filled with that pill.
Okay, now, let's just... Can we... I gotta... Did you know that
No.
Bill Cosby is legitimately planning a comeback tour?
No.
So, can I...
This man got out of jail
No.
on a technicality, by the way.
Let's say, and I'm not saying this at all,
Yeah.
but to put it
To
in
play
the
that-
best case scenario,
Best case
let's say
scenario.
that Bill Cosby is completely innocent.
Yep.
Which he is
He's
not.
not.
He is not. I do not
No.
think that.
But let's say he is.
This is still a man who's been in jail, who has a very large population that would probably like to hurt him, who cannot see, who cannot move, who can barely speak, and now he wants to go on a world tour. Someone's gonna slap that dude around. Someone's gonna jump
He's gonna
up on
get
this.
shot.
Someone might actually shoot Bill Cosby.
Someone might shoot Bill Cosby. And honestly, I'd be like, okay. Like I'm not for people getting shot, but if there's someone that might deserve a bullet
I'm just saying,
through like a leg or
if
something.
you'd like not to get shot, don't go on a world tour. You probably have enough money put away.
I would just, if he got clipped in the ding-a-ling by a bullet, I wouldn't probably feel too bad for him. Be like, you might have deserved that one, dude. Just maybe. That's fucking crazy though. He's really gonna do a comeback tour?
Not only that,
he's gonna die.
He has a 5-part docuseries, a book in the works, and he wants to start doing stand-up again.
Stop. No, I don't want to listen.
He also wants to do motivational talks in prisons and schools.
Who is this man?
Now I'm sorry, but like, has anyone else seen like him in the courtroom, like him speaking at like?
Dude, he's old as shit.
He was
he's
losing
84.
like, unless that was trying to make it seem like he was insane for the sake of the court case. The man could not talk.
He could barely talk when at the end of his fucking career. Like,
Dude, but like we're talking about like
world tour.
almost a dementia level of like nonsense, like words that just simply do not make sense coming out.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like, and
he's 84. Think of the amount of drugs he's done, and just like the life he's lived. Like, dude, there's no way you could go on a world tour right now, or make it out alive by that means. You're telling me there's not one woman out there that wouldn't gladly take a bullet out on Bill Cosby or storm the stage and just fucking kill him? Like, dude, there are people that are, and hey, I'm one of them that pissed that he's free right now. Like, he shouldn't be free. He got out on a technicality. It was literally a technicality.
Yeah.
And he got out.
And
And everyone's acting like, oh, he's innocent. Like, no, he's not. He was proven guilty. He was supposed to be in prison for the rest of his life, and he got out on a technicality.
Yeah, there was a plea he took in like 2017. He took a plea with some other attorney, and that plea actually it legitimately gave him and said, we won't prosecute you.
Yeah.
I don't know who that guy is, but he should be fired.
Would you rather be locked in a room with Cosby or an unvaccinated Cole Beasley?
Bro, I would live with unvaccinated Cole Beasley for 6 years if I didn't have to. That man looks like a pile of stones. Like, I do not want... and he would not be gentle.
Oh.
And he would not know my name or remember anything. He probably doesn't know his name. I don't know how this man's going to do a world tour.
Safe word immediately.
True, he would never remember.
You'd be like, Bill, my safe word is mango. Within 30 seconds, you'd be like, mango. He'd be like, I like mangoes.
He'd be like, oh,
no, that guy needs to go away, though. I'm pretty done with the whole Bill Cosby thing. I've had enough. He needs to go away. Shout out to the safe word, Stephanie. Yeah, Bill Cosby.
Is this the one where he just... Oh my god, do you remember when he was walking out of a courtroom and he goes, hey, hey, hey? Do you remember that?
No.
This was in 2017. As he departed court. Wait, this is... That is him.
Does this man think he's like
After the second day of jury deliberations, for his, not someone else, for his trial, he goes, hey, hey, hey.
This guy. This guy's got some balls if he wants to show his face in public again.
I can't.
Well, is there not like one family member that's like, Bill, Dad, Uncle, Grandpa, don't fucking do it? Like, what are you thinking?
I feel like...
Can you just come home and hang out with your family for a little bit besides just going
like
straight on tour?
There shouldn't be a single person in his camp that should be telling him to go do this.
Yeah. Who in his right mind... What agent does this man have that's like, hey, Bill, you know what would be a really fucking good idea? You should go on a world tour. I bet that would really get your reputation back. You know what? While you're at it, you should do motivational talks and write a book and have a documentary series about the fact that you raped an ungodly amount of women. Hey, Bill, does that sound like a good idea to you? Dude, this man can't even talk. Like, what are we doing here? It's not even the fact that it's Bill Cosby. It's the fact that this is a crippled old man, too. Like, you can't...
With, like, 60 allegations against him.
With, like, 1,000,000 allegations against him. Oh, my God. This man's just going to be shaking on stage the whole time.
You know what I want to talk about, though?
What?
That doesn't have to do with William Cosby.
What? That's right, his real name's William.
I actually don't know that.
It makes sense.
But it's typically long for
Little
Bill.
Willie.
I want to talk about the Russian Olympic Committee.
Yeah. Yeah, it is interesting.
So, are we gonna just pretend that it's not just Russia?
Apparently we have to act like it's not Russia even though we all know it's Russia. That's the new rules. So apparently you can have the KGB go in and switch vials in drug testing, get banned, but then still represent your country if you call it an Olympic committee. Or the Olympic athletes of.
So, I don't know. If you don't know what happened in 2014 in Sochi, it's kind of crazy.
Watch the Icarus.
Yeah, Icarus is a fantastic documentary.
You gotta watch that. Gotta watch, especially around Olympic time. You gotta watch that to understand like how fucking crazy that was.
But the Russians literally built a building adjacent to the drug testing lab, cut a hole in the wall, and then would pass dirty samples out and put clean samples in for their own athletes.
Like literally like James Bond shit.
Yep, and then they did the same thing at the Paralympics, where the Russians won the most medals, 3 times more than the next country. At the Paralympics. You're doping at the Paralympics. Anyway, you got cracked, but here we are, and we're looking at, Russian gymnasts win something, and we see 4 guys with Russian colors listening to a Russian song, chanting Russia. The crowd, if there was a crowd, would have been chanting Russia, and we're just like, this isn't Russia.
No, but this isn't Russia. No, but it's not Russia. It has Russia on their name, but you can't call them Russia.
So the IOC, the International Olympic Committee, is like, we're going to punish them by calling them the ROC?
Yeah, well, the first punishment was OAR, Olympic Athletes of Russia.
Right.
That was the first punishment.
Or.
That was the first punishment. Now they really stepped it up a notch by saying Russian Olympic Committee. They're really, really digging into them.
So here's...
For cheating for 20 years. Really going after them.
Here are the things that have changed, because I'm looking at this and I'm like, what is not Russia about this besides the N at the end of Russia and then Olympic Committee?
Yeah. Because
they really just seem to add about 15 more letters on the end of the name.
Yeah.
So this is what we've noticed so far. The Russian artistic swim team set its routine to a song called "With Russia from Love," but the word Russia was cut out of the song, like a rap song.
So they're basically
radio.
just like flicking off the IOC. This is what it feels like. Singing like the Russian national
and the
anthem,
IOC,
chanting
they don't
Russia.
do anything anyway.
Yeah.
So just them doing anything is like a big
This
deal.
feels
for
like
the
Russia
IOC.
being like, we got away with it and fuck you.
Yes, it's absolutely what it is. The flag's not allowed, but they have that weird one with the Olympics, and then a red, white, and blue torch. Like
Yeah,
it's
rough.
pretty dang close.
My fucking mic won't stay here.
It's just a it's very strange.
I've never understood it either. Because after watching that documentary, I can't believe that Russia is even allowed to be in the Olympics.
Yeah.
Like, if you watch and maybe the documentary is more dramatized because it is like it was meant to be entertaining and things. But if you have watched that Icarus documentary and you still think that Russia deserved to be in the Olympics in any way, shape, or form, I would love to hear your argument on why. Because
Why the Russians deserve to be in the Olympics?
Yeah.
Because most of them didn't do anything.
They all dope though. Like every single last one.
In 2014.
In 2014. But like, like after watching that, I was under the impression of like, they should be banned for the Olympics for a very long time. Like cutting holes into a drug
the
facility.
problem is it's like you can't blame the athletes necessarily all the time.
That was a good one, 70.
We should.
No, I know it doesn't always rest on the athletes. It's not always
Like I just saw a thing of one of the girls on the gymnastics team in 2014 was 9 years old, and it's like just like stuff like that. It's like
clearly it was not her
right,
decision.
so not on her. I'm sure some of the Olympic
and if every single other person is doing it, it'd be like, well, why not? Like,
but there's definitely, and it's like I don't think anyone. Because then I think Russia would be the ones that would have to launch the type of investigation to see to what extent every athlete was involved, and they would never do that. The biggest problem was hosting an Olympics in Putin's Russia. Probably not with the guy, like nothing, no hate against, a little bit. In this particular thing, some hate against Russia.
Yeah.
But like, obviously, seeing that they would build a building and have holes in the walls just to get clean piss tests. You have to be like, okay, so they have a lot of spies. They have a lot of, the KGB is a thing that exists.
That does still, and I've always heard that it exists, but when you see a documentary that says, yeah, literally it was the KGB, like, oh shit. That's a very scary 3-letter word, by the way. KGB is a scary, scary, scary like, CIA, no. Doesn't scare me as much. Even though it's scary, scary place. KGB will literally, like, scare you. Extremely. Those people kill people. A lot. And have been known to do some very crazy fucking things.
I mean, yeah. Honestly, they probably got, like, paid off. I bet they were like, oh, we banned them, and they're like, either get paid off or something worse.
They found a loophole somewhere, the fact that they're allowed to say Russian Olympic Committee. Because I would think the Russian Olympic Committee is the one that's getting in the most trouble. Like, don't punish the athletes unless... I guess punish some of the athletes. Punish all the athletes. Don't punish any of them. I don't know how you go about the athletes, because they still ended up doping. But like you said, like, it was a fucking 9-year-old in there.
Yeah, and it's like
it's clearly not her decision.
Like, as far as the team going this year, getting rid of that, I'm sure there's not that much.
You shouldn't be allowed to say Russia in the Olympics right now. I'm still under the impression that should have been an X amount of years where there is not allowed to be Russia anything. If you want to compete as a Russian athlete, you have to compete as a world athlete. Because there are world athletes that have no country that they're representing. There are world athletes, and it should have been that. Because there should not be allowed to be a Russian athlete right now. That's my opinion, after watching that documentary and understanding what happened there.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way Russia should be able to be represented in any way, shape, or form in the Olympics.
I mean, if we're going to not let a woman go for smoking weed.
Yeah. And there's a whole ash team, one of the biggest, I might add, in the Olympics, one of the biggest Olympic teams in Russia, and you can't go because you smoked weed. That is really interesting now that I think about it, actually. I didn't even think about that comparison. Someone didn't go to Olympics because she had a death in her family and smoked some weed the night before her drug test. But we still have Olympic athletes here that have been proved to be on steroids.
And it's like, and if you want to use your argument, like, well, you shouldn't have smoked a weed before the thing, or else you know how that's going to... And it's like, all right, well, you shouldn't have had a massive doping scandal to take medals away from people who are disabled.
They cut whole... Yeah, hang on. Can we talk about that real quick? You literally rigged a Paralympic...
The Paralympics. The Olympics... is one thing, because maybe there's, I don't know, maybe a lot of teams have various amounts of doping here, there,
I will
whatever.
give it to Russia that they are not the only people with athletes in the Olympics that are on roids or PEDs. They're not the only one. There's no way. There's absolutely no way they're the only ones who have ever gotten away with it. Now, did they go to the most extreme lengths to get away with it? Absolutely.
Yes, and they probably to the largest extent and biggest lengths, all of that.
But there are other athletes, I'm sure, in the Olympics that have roided.
Yes.
However, have you ever seen The Ringer with Johnny Knoxville?
Yeah. No.
That's literally...
That is actually,
Russia. If you've never watched The Ringer with Johnny Knoxville, he is a normal guy who ran track back in college, and he's a degenerate and needs money, so he decides to rig the Special Olympics by, like, running and acting like a Special Olympic person. It's a very funny movie.
It's very,
But it literally reminds me of Russia doping in the Paralympics. They should make like a spin-off of that.
Yeah.
I'd watch it.
They could do like a The Dictator type movie.
Yeah.
About that would actually be pretty good.
That would be good. I'm still waiting for like the spin-off Putin movies. There's got to be some.
Yeah.
We did one on Kim Jong-un. We got to be able to do one on Putin, right? Unless we're like actually terrified that he'll kill us.
He's a little more scarier.
He's a little more scary. There's a lot of people. Steph slammed that over on Fridays. True. I do flick off the camera a lot on Fridays. Braxton's.
That's true.
Dumb shit. What else do we have? Got like 8 minutes till bets. What do you want to talk about? What does the chat want to talk about? Someone give us the topic. I'll blow it up. Dude, I just watched. Hang on. I just saw the replay of. I just saw the replay of my Bill Cosby with paralysis.
Deadly accurate.
Deadly accurate. I don't think there is a more accurate. One of these days, we're going to do something on the show that's going to get us banned off YouTube.
We're going to go out in a ball of fire, baby.
Making Juicy Lucy's tomorrow.
Let's go.
I really want one. Dude, after talking about it yesterday, I was like, damn. I really want a Juicy Lucy. Good luck, Stephanie. Remember, the cheese will come out boiling. Like, boiling. Don't eat it for a couple minutes. It's the worst part about Juicy Lucy's, dude. You bite into that burger, and the burger is great temperature, but that cheese is literally on fire. Oof. I have lost some taste buds over the years biting into that first bite.
What's worth?
It was kind of worth.
We had an NBA trade.
Did we?
We did. So, New Orleans has traded Steven Adams, Eric Bledsoe, the number 10 pick, and the number 40 pick in this draft, plus a top 10 protected 2022 pick from the Lakers to the Grizzlies in exchange for...
Three-way trade?
No, it's just the Lakers pick they already had.
Pick. Okay.
And then Memphis sends Jonas Valanciunas and the 1751s in this draft.
Wait, so it's just Valanciunas?
For Steven Adams and Bledsoe, and then
Number
the 10 and the 40 for the 17 and the 51.
Interesting. Hey, I will say that Valanciunas is an underrated player. I do like that trade.
Yeah.
Bledsoe, I'm surprised they got rid of him.
Me too, and Steven Adams is pretty good.
Steven Adams not so bad, but like, I mean, you got a pretty good starter in front of him, so I think you're okay.
I think the main thing for the Pelicans was the contracts of Adams and Bledsoe.
Because they have to pay Zion, right?
They have to pay Zion, and they have to put people around Zion.
They have to pay Zion, and they might have to pay RJ too, unless they get rid of him.
RJ?
No, not RJ. Who's the next guy?
Oh, Brandon Ingram?
Yeah. Is he paid? He's already paid though.
I believe so. I actually don't know. And they have some time on Zion though.
Do they?
But the main Bledsoe and Steven Adams were just two. They're just older dudes on that vet type of salary.
What are they gonna do with Lonzo too?
I think they try to shop him, but I don't know if they'll find much.
He's such a shoppable player.
Yeah, so
He
Steven
can kind of fit everywhere.
Steven Adams was on contract for another $17 million in 2021, and then in the 2022 season as well.
Steven Adams is making $17 million.
Yeah, he made $29 million last year.
Holy shit! I would
and
not have guessed his
then
contract's that high.
Bledsoe was making $18 million in 21, and then 19 in 22. So it makes sense that they would try to move him around or move
what is
him
that?
around.
$40 million in cap rate? Or
Yeah, they
50
just cleared up a
almost?
good $40 million.
Yeah, $40 million.
They have Brandon Ingram signed until 2025, so don't worry about him. Lonzo's a free agent. Zion's under contract until 2022-23.
Please, Lonzo, come to Minnesota so we can get rid of D'Lo.
Josh Hart will be interesting. He's also a free agent this year.
Please, Lonzo, come to Minnesota. Please. Please. I don't want D'Lo.
You want Lonzo?
Yeah, ball distribution, bro. You know how long it's been since we had a point guard that can actually pass?
Fair enough.
It's been
He's
so
a
long.
great passer, man.
We went from Tyus Jones to Jeff Teague to D'Angelo Russell. Probably three of the worst distributing point guards that we could have possibly ever wanted. When all we need is a point guard that can pass the ball to Ant or Cat. We need a shooter too, so badly. God, we can't shoot worth shit. We need a lot.
Yeah.
We need a lot. Hey, I'm expecting a Timberwolves playoff appearance this year, though. I am. I'm expecting. I'm grabbing. We're getting that 8 seed. We're gonna sneak in.
Okay.
Culture's changing.
Okay, buddy.
New management. Culture's changing. No, I really don't think that.
I was gonna say, I think they'll improve, but...
By the way, statistically, the Timberwolves are an absolute anomaly.
Really?
So, there's a 45% chance of any team not making the playoffs in the NBA because more teams make the playoffs than don't. So it's a 45% chance that you do not make the NBA playoffs on a given season.
Mm-hmm.
Now, obviously, percentages are different for teams and everything, but they did that for 14 years. Compound 45% 14 times. That's like 0.00001% chance that actually happens. Just saying.
Wow.
We are a statistical anomaly.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's pretty bad.
Isn't that bad?
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what process you've been through. We're still...
Bro.
We have been in like the first 2 years of trusting the process for like 2 decades now. Like, that's how bad it is.
Well, that's because there is no process.
There is no process.
That's why you need to get yourself a process.
It's get good players, get rid of the good players, get bad players, sign them to as much money as physically fucking possible, as fast as possible.
You gotta get Sam Hinkie. I'll show you how the process is supposed to work.
You know who we should get? We should get Zach LaVine. Oh, wait. Never mind.
Oh, what about Jimmy Buckets?
Oh, yeah, we should probably... He's a hard worker, I heard.
No, he's pretty cool.
Oh, wait. You know who's a really hard worker who would be a really good locker room guy that's just like, you wouldn't have to pay that much, it would be perfect? Taj Gibson. Oh, wait. I had him, too.
Maybe like Rocco for some hustle.
Yeah, Rocco would be probably a good defender. You know, hustle.
3-and-D kind of guy.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Yeah, we had him too. Yeah. Yeah, we definitely had him too. Oh, who's that guy? Kevin Love, really good shooter. Pretty good basketball player back in the day. You know, kind of did it all. He probably would have been a good guy to have on the team too. Oh, shit! If only someone could have passed him the ball back then, though. Oh shit! I think there was a guy named Ricky Rubio that was one of the best passers in the league at that time. Huh. Did we get rid of both? Yeah, we got rid of both those guys too. I heard there was a really, really good all-star once on our team too. What was his name? Kevin something? I heard we got rid of him and then he went and won championships or something. I don't know. Kazi.
It's worth it.
It's worth it for the mascot.
That's gonna be really loud. I'm sorry, everybody.
Plug your ears. Kazi. Damn. One of these days, man. One of these days, we're gonna get the mascot on the show. We promise he exists. He really does. One of these days, he's gonna come out, and it's gonna be a great day. Hey, you might need a little blue pill for that.
It's not floppy. It's just unstable.
Which one? Are you talking about the microphone or?
Yes. Why don't we kick it to a break? And because I mean, we might as well.
We
Anyway.
are at 11 o'clock. That was a pretty good time.
It is.
We should probably kick it to a break.
I'm gonna just do it like this.
Yeah.
No.
I was kind of hoping you were. All right. Hey, Stephanie got you with it. That's what he said.
Bruh.
All right, let's get to a break. Bess will be back. The blue pill will be popped so that we're back on.
I only take the red pill. Fellas, it's betting time.
Well, I thought that was an ESPN notification. I was like, oh, breaking news.
That would have been a lot of fun.
That would have been nice. But instead, we just have the bets for today. MLB slates 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 games today. We're gonna have plenty to choose from.
Oh, yeah.
There will be no forcing. By the way, I hate the fucking Nationals more than anything on the planet Earth. Up 4-0. Going into the ninth inning with a very comfortable lead. And what do? They give up 3 runs in the bottom of the ninth to the Phillies to lose 6-5. Fucking sick, bro.
That's nard, dude.
However, the over in the Twins game hit, and the White Sox ended up losing the Royals. I knew that shit was going to fucking happen.
The Royals were live today.
I knew that fucking line was wrong. Huh?
I heard the Royals were live today.
They are on, what, a 5-6 game winning streak now? Anyways, to start out the bets today, we have games at 7:05. We got 3 of them. The first one, Brett Anderson on the mound for the Milwaukee Brewers, getting about minus 150-ish on the road. At home, we got Pittsburgh Pirates with Tyler Anderson on the mound getting about plus 115. Let's figure out what we're doing here. Anderson's ERA, 4.26, whip 137. Anderson's 4.35, 1.20 whip. So, basic metrics, pitchers are a little bit similar. Let's see in their home and away splits. Looks like Brett Anderson struggles a little bit more on the road with a 5.4 ERA, on-base percentage of 3.44, and a whip of 1.47. So kind of struggles on the road a little bit. Tyler Anderson, on the other hand, at home is a 3.31 ERA with a 1.14 whip and an on-base percentage of 2.86. Tyler Anderson definitely gets the nod for the starting pitchers here. I'm going to go into their game logs a little bit and see how they've been doing. I'm surprised that Tyler Anderson's whip is as low as it is with the amount of earned runs that he gives up. He never gives up too much, but he definitely gives up some every single game. His game log in the past 10, 3.20, 2.36, 2.329. So he's definitely good for probably 2. He went 1 time, and that was actually against Milwaukee, that he went 7 innings for 0 earned runs. Not a big strikeout guy. Strikeouts stay pretty low, but dingers also stay low and walks stay low. So he's probably a ground out, good controlled pitcher. Wow, I just realized that both are named Anderson.
How fun is that?
Yeah. Brett Anderson from Milwaukee Brewers has only pitched 57 innings, so it's not a ton this season. Looks like he goes anywhere from 3 to 5-ish innings and gives up his game log in the past 10, 2.030, 4.31, 2.40. So stays moderately low, but you can pretty much count on him for a couple runs every game. I don't think the Boston comeback, though. I know. That's why I can't be too upset about it. I don't know if I have a line or play for this one, really. Actually, Brewers are down to minus 125, which makes me even more not like that line. 70% of tickets, 60% of money. I think this is a fade game. I think this is a trap game that the Brewers may end up losing to the Pirates, but I'm not going to lay it on the Pirates because that is not a good idea. I just think there's probably better games today than putting a lean on the very first game.
Fair enough.
Second game, Miami Marlins on the road getting about minus 136. Minus 140-ish, getting 53% of tickets, 63% of money going against Baltimore Orioles, who has Spencer Watkins on the mound. But I see Sandy Alcantara on the mound for the Marlins, which makes me very excited. Alcantara, 3.23 ERA, 1.15 whip. Wow, Watkins, 1.65 ERA, 1.16 whip. Let's see who Watkins. I have not heard of him much. Yeah, it's because he only pitched 16 innings.
Well, I'll do it.
But solid 16 innings. He went 1, 5, 4, 6 innings with 0, 1, 1, 1 earned runs. He's given up 1 dinger. He lets up a little bit of walks, but his strikeouts have gotten better as he's gone on. This is a hell of a pitcher, actually. I will say, though, in all of his starts, besides his last one, Baltimore has given up a shitload of runs after him. So he went 1 inning against LA, gave up 0 earned runs. They ended up losing that game 8-7. He went 5 innings against Toronto, only gave up 1 earned run, yet they ended up giving up 5 that game. Went 4.1 innings against Chicago White Sox, gave up 1 earned run, yet the Chicago White Sox ended up scoring 7 that game. So sometimes, and I learned this from Tech, sometimes not only just the pitcher you have to look at, it's what comes after the pitcher, who they stack up after that pitcher.
Right.
Because it looks like they just throw absolute junk after he comes out. Because I'm sure this is not part of their normal rotation. Alcantara, on the other hand, is a fucking stud. In his last 2 games, he has not been very good. He only went 3 and 4 innings his last 2, gave up 3 earned runs each. Then we had a shutout game with 6 innings. Game before that, 5 innings with 4 earned runs. But he's been pretty solid all season. He hasn't given up more than 4 earned runs any game. Maybe his control is slipping a little bit. Looks like his walks are up. His home runs, he doesn't give up home runs. His pitch count per innings are way up in the last 2, but it just looks like in the last 2. I don't know. Let's dive into how he is on the road. So he actually isn't too bad on the road. 3.63 ERA with a 1.32 WHIP and an on-base percentage of 320. But that last 4.15 ERA, on-base percentage of 375, and a WHIP of 1.85. What's the Orioles team total over here? Is it low? I see the total for the game is at 9, with juice on the over. So I'm gonna guess it's 4.5, 3.5.
It is 3.5 minus 145.
Ugh. God, those are nasty fucking lines. I do think the Marlins win today at minus 140. I do like that line. Especially with 53% of tickets and 63% of money. It seems like a decent stat. Or like it's not an overly stacked thing. It's not getting parlayed. So I do like the Marlins at about minus 140-ish. Let's see if we can find something to parlay it with, though. My toe. So itchy. Help. Also, look at my fucking sick ass socks today. I got full Vikings on today.
Wow, someone's excited for football.
I'm very excited for football, if you couldn't tell. Even though I'm wearing a jersey that does not exist on my team anymore. By the way, I thought about this morning when I was putting on this jersey. What a career move for Stephon Diggs.
Oh, yeah.
What a fucking genius move that a lot of people were giving him shit for in the beginning.
I didn't think he'd be as good in Buffalo. Not that I didn't think he was good.
He would be. I knew he was good. I didn't think he'd be that good without Adam Thielen on the other side, because I thought that the reason Stephon Diggs was so good was because Adam Thielen and Kyle Rudolph was taking pressure off of him. But he even said, he's like, Kirk can't throw me the ball. And he trusted Josh Allen more, and great fucking decision.
Yeah.
Great
He
decision.
was correct.
He was correct. He had it all. And then he ended up being, what, one of the number 1 wide receivers this year? I think he was like top 3? Crazy.
He might have... Did he leave in receiving yards?
No. Travis Kelce did.
No.
Didn't he?
Stephon Diggs did.
Okay, Travis Kelce right behind him.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stephon Diggs did. Damn. Anyways, Marlins in that game, I think.
He led him by 120 yards. Too.
Holy shit. Third game at 7:05, we have Eric Fetty versus Matt Moore. Washington on the road getting plus 112 with Eric Fetty. Matt Moore on the mound for the Phillies at home getting minus 122-ish. There's a free pick on this one. Power Sports says over 10.5. Okay, Power Sports. Power Sports might be correct, however, because Fetty is a 4.88 ERA with a 1.4 WHIP. Matt Moore, 5.79 ERA with a 1.6 WHIP. I want to see their home and away splits real quick. Eric Fetty struggles a little bit on the road with a 4.75 ERA, on-base percentage of 323, and a WHIP of 136. Last 3, he has been awful. 6.57 ERA, on-base percentage of almost 400, and a WHIP of almost 2. Matt Moore, on the other hand, sucks at home and sucks in his last 3, giving up an on-base percentage of almost 400 and a WHIP of 2. So both these pitchers not very good at all. Both these teams just not very good at all, honestly. I don't like either of these teams. I don't know what to do here. There should be a lot of runs. That over 10.5 might be a good pick. But, man, you're talking about the Nationals and the Phillies here that you're banking on to try and score runs. Damn, there should be a play, there should be an angle on this game, but I just don't trust any of them. Over 10.5 should be, that is the right play for this game if you do take something. But man, I don't trust either team. This could be 2-1. Easily.
Yeah.
Easily could be a 2-1 game. Two pitchers that have some talent, that have struggled. If they find their shit, this is a... I don't bet. I'm not betting on this game. I don't like it. I'm staying away from it. What do you find something?
I'm just looking at that under.
Yeah?
I feel like if there's a lot of money on the over, too,
Let me see.
I kind of like the under there.
The under is getting 98% of money.
All right, never mind then.
So maybe we take the over?
Well, I don't like the over. It's not.
It's not.
These guys,
it's not
neither of
great.
these teams are averaging enough runs for me to think that they'll both put up over 5.
Yeah.
They're both in low 4s.
Ugly.
And I think Philadelphia, even though it's a smaller park, it gets counteracted by the fact that the Phillies actually play well there.
This is true. They do.
So, yeah,
I think that is the stay away game. Like I said, there are angles to that game that I do like, but man, it's trusting two teams that I do not want to trust. No, 7-10 game. We have Adam Wainwright and the St. Louis Cardinals taking on Cleveland and Quantrill. Adam Wainwright, 3.56 ERA with a 1.13 WHIP. Quantrill, is that how you say it? God, I say that name like every other day, and I still don't know how to pronounce it. 3.84 ERA with a 1.35 WHIP. Over under looks like it's set at 9.5. St. Louis getting minus 120ish on the road. They are getting 56% of tickets and 83% of money to St. Louis Cardinals, and it's probably because of Wainwright. However, I know that Wainwright is not a great pitcher on the road. Yes, I was correct. Adam Wainwright, 5.35 ERA on the road, on base percentage of 340 and a WHIP of 1.5. That is not the Adam Wainwright that you normally see. Quantrill, 3.49 ERA, on base percentage 3.21, WHIP 1.32. So pretty much the same pitcher at home than he is everywhere else. Seeing a stack on St. Louis, they're on the road. Adam Wainwright's not as good on the road. I kind of like Cleveland here, honestly. Everything kind of points to people want to be betting on St. Louis, and that makes me even like Cleveland even more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if you want an underdog today, that the Cleveland Indians might be one to take. I don't trust it because these are, again, two teams that I just don't like at all. St. Louis is 50-50, Cleveland's 49-48. St. Louis 22-30 on the road, Cleveland 25-22 at home. But man, good luck trusting the Cleveland Indians to get you through the season. They have won 3 of their last 10, so
Jeez.
that's why I'm a little bit hesitant. While the St. Louis Cardinals have won 6 of their past 10, so like I said, Cleveland Indians probably one of my out of the 4 games are the only underdog that I'd be willing to take so far. Next game, 7-10, we have Robbie Ray of the Toronto Blue Jays on the road pitching against Garrett Richards of the Boston Red Sox pitching at home. Toronto minus 130-ish, Boston plus 120-ish. This is kind of interesting because I'm pretty sure Robbie Ray sucks really bad. Or not Robbie Ray, Garrett Richards. I'm going to check what the money's saying. Yeah, I was going to say 58% of tickets on the Blue Jays with 82% of money, so that is a stack. And that is because of the starting pitchers. Garrett Richards, 5 flat ERA with a 1.63 WHIP. Just not good. Robbie Ray, 3.12 ERA with a 1.05 WHIP. Much, much, much better. Just looking at Garrett Richards' game log, he's going to go 5 innings, most likely. That's kind of what he does every single game. He did have one very bad outing against Tampa Bay. But he's pretty consistent. Like his game log for earned runs, 4.32, 5.44, 4.323. So like consistently bad, but consistent. He's not going to put up 9 runs all of a sudden out of nowhere kind of thing. His pitch count stays actually pretty low. His home runs are ridiculous. He gives up his home run game log. Holy shit, 3.00, 3.21, 0.010. Oh. So man gets shelled some games. Walks are up 2, strikeouts are down. Just not the pitcher that you want to be banking on at all. Robbie Ray, on the other hand, very solid pitcher. Had a tough outing in his last outing, going 5 innings, giving up 4 earned runs against Boston. He has pitched against Boston any other times? Yes, he has. So he actually struggles against Boston a little bit. The two times that I see on this game log, at least, was the last game where he went 5 innings, gave up 4 earned runs, 5 hits, 3 home runs. And then when they played back on June 13th, he went 6 innings, gave up 3 earned runs. He had 10 strikeouts though, but 3 walks and a dinger. So even though he played a decent game, he still gave up a little bit of runs. So I think both of these guys are susceptible to runs, and that's probably why the under/over set at 11.
You know what that makes me like?
What?
Let's see this little guy right here. First 5 over 6.
Damn.
Minus 115.
Damn. First 5 over 6. Do I expect 6 runs to be hit?
Our guy Richards is good for 4.
Yep. And our guy Robbie, see, that's the thing. I don't know what Robbie's good for. 2? And Garrett Richards is good for, call it 3.5. It's going to be close. It's very, very, very close.
I mean, here's the... So, like...
What's Toronto's first 5 money line?
Toronto first 5 money line is... Well, minus 140. You can also get... If you like minus 140 for a bit of a... Just something you want to lock in, put some decent money on. You can also get the Blue Jays over 2.5 in the first 5 at minus 140, which is, in my opinion, a lock. I just avoided for a little bit of that juice, but they'll hit over 2.5.
That might be the play right there, honestly. Marlins money line with the Toronto first 5 over 2.5 are both minus 140. I bet parlay together it's about plus 200. I bet it's plus about 200 parlay together. Just saying. So yeah, there's a couple different angles there. Expect a lot of runs. Expect runs. This should be a game where plenty of runs are being hit. 80 degrees, 7-mile-an-hour wind going out.
Nice.
It's Garrett Richards, Robbie Ray. Robbie Ray could honestly go out 6 innings and go scoreless. He really could. But I see indicators here that say he's good for a couple runs, and he struggled. He does struggle against Boston. Boston kind of has his number a little bit. Now, granted, the one time that he went 6 innings, gave up 3 earned runs, Toronto won 18-4. But it seems like that's kind of like the one team that might have his number a little bit. So yeah, I would probably stay away from Toronto money line just because Boston has been fucking crazy lately, especially pulling that 4-run comeback in the bottom of the 9th against the Yankees after a no-hitter. Just a very sporadic team. Very, very sporadic. But that first 5 over 2.5 seems... that seems nice. 7-10, we have Charlie Morton going against the New York Mets. I do not even see a line for this, so I'm guessing the Mets have not announced the starting pitcher. And even if they have, it's Charlie Morton on the mound, who I do not bet against ever.
Yeah, I'm not even seeing the game.
Yeah, no. So, no pitcher for the New York Mets. I would say no matter who it is, unless his name's DeGrom, who is still hurt. Yes, still hurt. Don't bet against Charlie Morton. Just don't bet against Charlie Morton. It's not worth it. It won't go well for you. Moving on. That was the last 7-10 game, I believe. Nope. One more. We have the New York Yankees. Ooh. I like this game. New York Yankees at the Tampa Bay Rays. We got Jordan Montgomery on the mound for the New York Yankees, about plus 130-ish. Shane McClanahan on the mound for Tampa Bay, about minus 155. I would love to see where the public's betting on this one, because the public always tells you what's going to happen in Yankees games. Rays getting 56% of tickets and 84% of money. It looks like minus 145-ish on DraftKings. Let's get into it. Montgomery, 3.96 ERA, 1.17 whip. McClanahan, 3.88 ERA, 1.25 whip. I want to see how they do home and away, because I think Jordan Montgomery struggles on the road a bit. Jordan Montgomery, 4.75 ERA on the road. On-base percentage goes up to a 3.13, and whip goes up to 1.3. Has been very solid in his last 3 starts, however. Shane McClanahan, 3.9 ERA at home, on-base percentage about 300, whip of about 1.27. So If you want to give a starting pitch-up nod, you could probably slightly give an edge to McClanahan. I think that if you compare these two teams, you definitely give a slight edge to Tampa Bay. The Yankees have been scary lately, but man, I think Tampa Bay wins this one. I don't like the fact that they're getting stacked on, and the Yankees have had a good little run here. They won 4 in a row, dropped 2 to Boston. Actually, they've dropped 3 out of 4 to Boston. I thought they won. I thought they split that series for some reason. If I have a lean here, I'm taking Tampa Bay Rays. I see the under/over set at 7.5.
It's quite low.
Which means the team totals have got to be quite low as well. What are team totals sitting at?
3.5 for the Yankees at +100, and 4.5 for the Rays at +115.
4.5 for the Rays?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
+115.
+115 though. I mean, I'm looking at Jordan Montgomery's game logs, and he's always good for 5 innings, almost always.
Mm-hmm.
But his game log earned runs 0, 3, 3, 3, 3, 1, 4, 3, 1, 3. So if you ask me, the guy's good for 3 runs.
Well, what about a Tampa Bay first 5 over 2.5 at +115?
I would rather take the full game. I would. The Yankees have been known to give up the bullpen quite bad. Is Chapman just like not Chapman this season? God, I have seen him throw some crazy wild pitches.
What about Yankees over 1.5 first 5? -115.
I mean, McClanahan has been known to give up some runs. His game log, and he only goes like 3 to 5 too, so you could get a second pitcher in there before the first 5.
Yeah.
His earned run game log 1-1, 3-3, 1-2, 3-4, 0-1. So definitely better than Montgomery. Like I said, I think Tampa Bay does win this game. I do like that. Damn, I like that first 5 though. What is it? Over 2.5?
The Yankees is over 1.5 at -115. The Rays is 2.5 at +115.
I think I just want to put Tampa Bay to win, honestly. I think that's the easiest way to do this.
Yeah.
I really do think they win this game. You know who they got? Did you hear about that? They got Nelson Cruz from the Twins. Mr. Steroids himself. The steroid market in Minnesota took a massive hit.
It's very sad to hear. Very
massive hit. Like, I don't even know. I bet he kept that whole state of PEDs in business by himself, just for his like breakfast. Because I know that man just put steroids and milk in a bowl of cereal every single morning.
A little bit of sugar, just to sweeten it up.
There's no way. You can't convince me that man's not eating steroids for every meal of his life. That's 7-10. Ooh, you know what? Miami Marlins money line with a Tampa Bay money line. It just came to me. But we'll keep moving. 805, sorry. Arizona Diamondbacks on the road getting +125 with Taylor Widener on the mound, and Texas Rangers at home with Dane Dunning on the mound getting about -135-ish. There's a free pick. Ooh, Larry Ness says take Texas. Okay, Larry.
Oh, Larry.
Okay, Larry.
Why?
Taylor Widener, 3.55 ERA with a 1.27 WHIP. Dane Dunning, on the other hand, 4.3 ERA with a 1.42 WHIP. So just basic metrics, we give the nod to Taylor Widener, but let's jump into it a little bit more. Home and away splits. Looks like Taylor Widener is great on the road somehow, even though he hasn't played much on the road. 1.93 ERA, on-base percentage of 293 and a whip of 1.11. However, he has struggled in his last 3 with a 5.06 ERA, an on-base percentage of 365, and a whip of a 1.6. So definitely struggled as of recently. Dane Dunning, on the other hand, has actually been very good. At home, 2.54 ERA with a on-base percentage of under 300 and a whip of 1.2. His last 3, he's been even better than that with a 2.63 ERA, on-base percentage of 260, and a whip of .88. Very good in his last couple starts. I'm going to look at their game logs just to see what's been going on. Taylor Widener's only pitched 33 innings this season, and he has been susceptible to a lot of runs. He's very sporadic. It looks like some games he has his control, some games he doesn't. Just looking at his earned run log in his past 10. 5-1-0-0-4-0-3-0. So, some games he comes out, has the stuff. Now, one of those zeros was only 1 inning, and another one was also only 1 inning. So I wouldn't necessarily say that, but he has pitched a full, shutout 6-inning performance before. He just seems susceptible to runs. His pitch count per inning is a little high. He gives up a fuckload of dingers. Keeps his walks down, but his strikeouts aren't that high, so it's probably a ground out guy who's susceptible to high ball contact. That's crazy because on basic stats he does look like a better pitcher than Dane Dunning, but once you jump into it a little bit, you can easily tell that Dane Dunning is a better pitcher. His game log in earned runs, it looks like he's going to go 4 to 6 innings almost every single time. Earned run log 310-234-0270. So a little more consistent than Widener, not as sporadic, but also he has some big numbers up there that's a little scary. What's the under-over for this? 8.5? Damn, that seems kind of low. What's our team totals on this one?
Let us see.
Also, I do think Texas wins this game, but I have not. What's the percentages? I was thinking something like a Nerfy, maybe a Rangers first 5, maybe a first 5 under. Somebody let me know what these boys are saying in chat, though. Oh, that's right. He can't hear us. I don't think he can hear us. I think he's in class.
Poor guy.
Braxton Beal's a pussy.
I
like it when he can't hear us.
The team total for the Diamondbacks 3.5 minus 135. For the Rangers, it's 4.5 minus 105.
That Rangers over 4.5 is tempting. See, the thing is, if they can get 2 from Widener, he only is going to go for 3-4 innings then. Because anytime he gives up earned runs, it looks like they pull him relatively soon.
Right.
He has yet to give up earned runs and go over 5 innings. So if he's starting to get shelled into, they just pull him. Arizona Diamondbacks has probably the worst bullpen in all of MLB. If we can get only 3 or 4 innings from Widener with 2 runs, that means we're waiting on 3 runs from 6 innings of a god awful bullpen. I kind of like that, especially at minus 105. Now, this is the Texas Rangers we're talking about here. Don't necessarily hit the ball a whole bunch.
Not
One
always.
of the worst offenses in the MLB, actually. In their last 10 games, they have scored 1 run, 1, 3, 5, 2, 1, 0, 0, 2, 1. So they have literally gone over 4.5 one time in the past 10 games. Because of that, I will not be laying a line on this game. I do think the Texas Rangers win this game. However, boy, do I not want to put anything out for that. They have lost their last 10 games. They have maybe lost more than their last 10 games. Let me check. Why did I not realize that the Texas Rangers were this bad?
I think they've just been on a slow decline.
4, 5, 6, 7,
They just keep
8,
getting
9,
worse
10.
and worse.
They have lost their last 11 games.
Wow.
So, no, I will not be betting on the Texas Rangers tonight, actually. If anything, Eric called you something reminiscent of a certain female anatomy. Probably called me a great man and a generous lover. Can't blame him. Even when he can't hear me, he's still a fucking nuisance. Yeah, no, I think we're done with that game. That just seems like icky. Don't want to touch it. Next game, 8-10. Dylan Cease on the mound for the Chicago White Sox at minus 141 on the road. Brad Keller on the mound at home for the Kansas City Royals at plus 130-ish. We got a free pick from Covers. Ben Burns says, take the over 9.5, folks. Thanks, Ben. Appreciate you. Dylan Cease, 4.21 ERA with a 1.31 whip. Brad Keller, 5.84 ERA with a 1.72 whip. But, hey, the Royals are hot, man.
They're live. I heard they're live today.
I'm glad that Braxton cannot fucking hear me. Because if he could, I would still say the Kansas City Royals are absolute dog shit. But between me and you, the Kansas City Royals are pretty good right now.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, no one tell Braxton, though. A man can tell. Anyways, let's jump into the pitchers a little bit. Home and away splits, Dylan Cease really struggles on the road. Just like I can tell.
Sheesh.
Sean is going to slip free.
So,
Dylan
Diamondbacks.
Dylan Cease on the road. He has a 6.27 ERA with an on-base percentage of 350 and a WHIP of 1.5. So really not a solid pitcher on the road. However, Brad Keller fucking sucks at home. 7.2 ERA, on-base percentage of 362 and a WHIP of 1.65. In his last three, he has definitely roped it in though. 2.61 ERA, on-base percentage goes down to 282 and WHIP down to 1.11. So Brad Keller has been playing very well as of recent. Yeah, I can see it. Looking at his game logs, in his last three, he only gave up 3.12 earned runs across 6.2, 7.2, and 6.1 innings. Very, very solid. Now, remember, this was the same Brad Keller who before that game log earned runs went 6.45, 6.5, 2.3. Never went over 5 innings of pitching. So, maybe, and we've talked about this before, even with Tech, the law of averages, if he actually is a good pitcher, because Brad Keller is not a bad enough pitcher to be giving up 6 earned runs per game.
Mm-hmm.
He maybe has found a little bit of control. Maybe instead of regression, maybe a little progression.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a new word for you. Maybe a little progression here. Pitches per inning's gone down. Strikeouts are up. Walks are down a little bit. Home runs are down. Now, those games, those last three, were against the Minnesota Twins, who aren't the greatest bats in the world. It's a little sporadic. The Cleveland Indians, who also aren't very good bats, and the Milwaukee Brewers, who also aren't very good bats. So let's take that into effect, and the fact that he was going against Boston, New York, Boston, Detroit, LA, before that when he was getting shelled. So maybe when there's a good team's bats, that's when he tends to get shelled. When it's bad team's bats, he tends to do a little bit better, which makes sense. The White Sox have very good bats.
Mm-hmm.
The White Sox have also not been playing that well. They've only won 5 games in the last 10 for a team that is supposed to be one of the top teams in the playoffs. Kansas City, 8 of their last 10, won 6 in a row.
Wow.
Whew. I really don't want to bet against them. I don't want to bet against the Royals on a hot streak, but man, that over/under at 9.5 actually seems kind of interesting. What are team total overs? Both 4.5. Give me a 5.5 and a 3.5.
So 4.5 for the Royals at plus 110, and a 5.5 for the White Sox at plus 100.
Kind of like that 4.5 for the Kansas City Royals.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Bat's been heating up. Cease struggles on the road a lot.
Some plus money on it too.
Some plus money on it. It's definitely good for 3 runs. I don't know.
That's a tough one.
What's the money again? It's more or less you just don't want to bet the Royals. Can't blame you. I really don't. I really don't want to bet the Royals.
And the White Sox are good. Yeah.
Especially not against the White Sox. White Sox getting 76% of tickets, 89% of money. Ugh. There's going to be runs scored in this game. There's going to be a lot of runs scored in this game. Is there going to be 10 runs scored in this game? I don't know. But there will be plenty of runs scored. I might have to fade that game even though I really, 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 really don't want to.
What about a Royals first 5 over 2.5? Or is that pushing it? Because it's at plus 125. That's why I'm looking at it.
That is a nice line, especially if you expect Cease. And hey, Tex said Cease was regressioning last time we talked with him when Cease was on the mound.
Mm-hmm.
Plus 125. That is a nice line.
Or you could take the Royals money line first 5 at plus 125 as well.
I think I like the over 2.5 better.
Interesting.
because I don't know I mean, if they score over in a 2.5, I would think they win. But
Yeah.
I don't necessarily trust it. Just in case Brad Keller just has one of those outings. But yeah, I might maybe a free play on that one. Maybe we send out a free pick. The over 2.5 is a free pick or something. Actually, Sean's been hot in baseball. Maybe we should let him take over for a little bit. People forget the Royals were the best team in the MLB in April. We just hit a bit of a slump is all. A bit of a slump? Sir, you lost like almost every game for 2 months. That's not a slump. That's just bad. Next game. Actually, we skipped over one. 8:05. Vladimir Gutierrez is pitching on the mound for Cincinnati Reds at plus 164. Wow. Adbert Alzolay on the mound for the Cubbies at home, getting minus about 180. This is crazy juice for no reason, I feel like. Gutierrez, 5 flat ERA with a 1.45 whip. Alzolay is a 4.58 ERA with a 1.11 whip. I want to look at Alzolay real quick because I feel like he's not that good. Yeah, he is not that good of a pitcher. His stats are deceivingly deceptive.
Oh.
Yep. In his last 10, his earned run game log 3.24, 3.4, 3.4, 1.02. So he's definitely good for some runs. Gutierrez, I'll look at his as well because this could be a little bit bad. Yeah. In his last 10 earned run game logs 6.1, 2.6, 3.5, 2.2, 2.1. So he's definitely struggled more as of late. His profile picture in the MLB is not good, by the way. On the road, he is quite a good pitcher, though. 3.55 ERA, on-base percentage of down to 300, and a whip of 1.27. So he's actually a better pitcher on the road than he has been anywhere else this season. Adbert Alzolay. Why does your first name have a D in it, and your last name doesn't? Adbert. Switch your L and your D around, and it'll make a lot more sense. It'll be Albert Adzolay rather than Adbert Alzolay. Sir, someone fucked up your birth certificate. I just want you to know. I don't know if anyone's ever told him, but someone fucked it up. At home, he has a 4.28 ERA with a whip of 1.03 and on-base percentage of 263. So Adbert is a great pitcher at home. However, plus 160 for the Cincinnati Reds against the Cubbies seems absolutely ridiculous. I know Gutierrez gets laid into a little bit, but remember, this is the Cubs with the 21st ranked offense. They are at home where they are significantly better. They did win 6-5 yesterday. But man, Cincinnati at plus 160 is crazy value. Crazy value. To think that Adbert Alzolay is worth a minus 180 juice is ridiculous to me. Against a Reds team that can put up runs. Now their bats have not been as good as they were towards a month ago. You know, that's not even true. Game log for Cincinnati Reds runs 5-6, 5-6, 0-4, 11, 0-4-6. Team total over is probably at 5.5, isn't it? 4.5 juiced.
4.5 for the Reds at minus 105. 5.5.
Whoa. Minus 105 for the Reds at over 4.5.
And the Cubs are getting 5.5 at minus 125. So that little Reds one seems excellent.
I like that Reds team total over a lot.
Me too.
I honestly think there's great value on the Reds for their money line today.
Me
too. They lost almost every game for 2 months. A slump is an understatement. His words not. Give me that plus 1.5 though for the Reds. That might be the play. Actually, is that plus 1.5? I didn't even see what the tickets were on this. The Reds are getting public money with 53% of tickets and 58% of money. So we're not the only ones who think that there's good value on the Reds.
It's not bad. Not too much of a stack either. I don't mind that.
Let me check the spread real quick because that plus 1.5 is very interesting. That plus 1.5 is at minus 120. Yeah, there it is. That's what I was wondering. 87% of tickets with 99% of money on the Reds plus 1.5. That is a little more scary.
Mm-hmm.
That makes me not like it as much. However, that over 3.5 or over 4.5 minus 105.
Yep.
Oof, that's a good line right there. I really like that line, especially with their bats being pretty decent lately. They've hit over 4.5 in their last 4 games and 6 of their last 10. So I like that. I don't think Adbert Alzolay is worth getting that minus 180. I think there's a lot of different angles to attack on this game, honestly. This might be a good game to attack for team total overs and things like that. Should be a lot of runs. And I definitely trust the Reds bats more than I trust the Cubs bats. I hate the Cubs bats. Never trust them. Next game, 8-10. Tyler Alexander of the Detroit Tigers getting plus 168. Going against Kenta Maeda, my ass regression guy, getting minus 184 at home. Kenta Maeda, 4.74 ERA, 1.34 whip. Tyler Alexander is 4.24 ERA, 1.33 whip. So these pitchers are very similar. But the biggest difference is Kenta Maeda is an ace who will go 5 to 7 innings, and Tyler Alexander will go only 1 to 2 innings. Looking at Kenta, yeah, game logs 0-3, or sorry, I can't count that one. 3-3-0-0, 7-2-1-3-3. So very sporadic. Either it has it or it doesn't kind of one game. A little bit better than he was at the beginning of the season. I'm not nervous about him giving up like 7 runs at any given time anymore, like I was at the beginning of the season. Tyler Alexander, like I said, he's going to go for 1 to 3-ish innings. They've been giving him a little bit more time recently. Seemed like in the beginning of the season they were only giving 1 innings. Then they started giving him 2 innings, and now the past 2 games they've given him 3 innings. And he's been doing well. But like I said, this is the whole David Price thing, remember the other day? Which, right. Hey, that ended up happening that night is David Price got fucking shelled.
True.
You start giving these pitchers who only go for 1 inning, they start doing really well. They keep getting more and more and more innings. Eventually, you're going to send them out there in that 3rd inning, and they are going to get fucking clobbered. Over-under is set at 9. I hit the over yesterday at 10 because of extra innings. We got the 11th run.
Nice.
Yeah, it was pretty solid. I like that one. Let me see how pitchers do home and away. Looks like Tyler Alexander, 4.76 ERA on the road with an on-base percentage of .330 and a whip of 1.41. Nothing too crazy. Kenta is a better pitcher at home with a 2.81 ERA, on-base percentage of about .300 and whip of 1.29. But in his last 3, he has been very solid. Whip is under 1, on-base percentage under .250, ERA is very close to 3. I do think the Twins win here, but man, am I not betting on the Twins. I'm just not. I don't trust them worth shit. They should have easily won that game yesterday, and it ended up going to extra innings because they blow a lead at the end. No, was that yesterday's game? I forget what happened in yesterday's game. Anyways, Tigers getting 51% of tickets, 51% of money. I don't think the Tigers plus 1.5 is a bad bet today. But I am going to stay away from that game because that is my team, and I feel like I know Kenta Maeda better than other people, which means that he's going to do something that I'm not expecting because that's what they do. I just don't want to lay anything in that game. There's other games. There's better games. Next game goes to 9:38. We have the LA Angels at home with Jose Suarez on the mound getting about minus 135-ish. Colorado Rockies on the road getting plus 115-ish with Austin Gomber on the mound. Remember, Gomber is who we talked about with Tech. Mm-hmm. We both saw that angle. We both really like this guy. 3.74 ERA with a 1.04 whip. Going to go 5-ish innings. Suarez for the Angels, 2.85 ERA, 1.12 whip. Gomber's a good, solid pitcher. He's gone anywhere from 2 to 8 innings this year. Earned run log 3.2010, 2.2100.
Nice.
Very, very, very solid pitcher. Now, I want to see, because it is Colorado Rockies, I'd like to see how he is on the road compared to the home. Because you know that is different. And yes, Gomber on the road is not as good. 5.06 ERA, on-base percentage of .282, whip of 1.19. So actually, even though he's not as good, those stats are still very impressive. Considering his last 3, his on-base percentage is under 200 and his whip is a .69. Nice. Yeah. But yeah, he's solid. Jose Suarez, on the other hand, 3.48 ERA at home, on-base percentage of .340, whip of 1.55. His ERA is up in his last 3, but all his other stats are pretty much down. On-base percentage goes under 300, whip goes to a 1.17. 2 solid pitchers here. I think Gomber is the better pitcher of the starting pitchers. Now, Their bullpen's worse than the Angels, so I'm
True.
not sure how we do about that. I wish Colorado was like plus 125 to plus 130.
Nah.
I really do, because I would lay them as an underdog today if they were. What are the Colorado Rockies team total, or what is the Colorado Rockies team total over, however?
4.5 at plus 110.
4.5 plus 110. 4.5. I'm looking. No, I don't like it. I really think this is a good day for dogs. There's a lot of dogs out there that are getting a little bit disrespected on value. Also, Angels getting 77% of tickets and 63% of money, which means that everyone's parlaying the Angels today. That makes me like the Rockies even more. Man, there's a lot of good underdogs today. This could be a very, very odd day for baseball. I lean the Rockies there, absolutely. I think Gomber is a better pitcher than Suarez. I think if he even gives up any runs, bullpens are relatively similar. I do think the Angels are a better team, but the Rockies surprise people out of nowhere. And I feel like the only reason I'm not laying it is because they're on the road. If this was the same matchup and the Rockies are at home, I'd probably lay it.
I like the game total over here.
Do you?
Yes.
At 9?
Yeah. The Angels Stadium, they're averaging 10.5 runs per game there.
Wow.
Both of these teams combined are averaging more than 9. The over is 33-16 at the Angels Stadium.
Whoa.
And the 9 is not too high up where I'd feel concerned about. I think, especially with these pitchers in, I could see 4 or 5, and then 1 or 2 more.
Bullpens are not good.
Yeah, I could. I think I could see that, and it's only minus 110. There's not juice or nothing.
Okay.
I think it's solid. Just a solid little, take the Rockies as a dog. Maybe you want something be a little safe.
Stephanie said, "No, this may be out there, but I'm thinking about parlaying Tigers plus 2.5 and Reds plus 2.5 at plus 133." You know, that's a Matty Oddlocks move. I've been seeing him put together some fucking wild parlays, and I don't even know how many people can play them because he takes teams at like plus 4.5, like minus 900, but he stacks like 4 of them together, gets minus 130ish on a parlay, and like of course it's gonna hit when you have plus 4.5 runs on teams.
Right.
You could do plus 2 for each and get it at plus 170 if you're feeling risky. Interesting.
Ooh.
It's an interesting little parlay. I might have to look into doing those alternative runs and just seeing if you can find good value on anything. Because like today, I'm looking at Cleveland Indians at plus 100. Dude, I'll take them plus 2.5 all day long for whatever juice you want. Like they're not gonna get dusted that bad. I would do the same thing for the Pirates today. Yeah, that's interesting. Anyways, moving on. We have a game at 9:45. 1 of 3 left on the slate today. Julio Arias against Logan Webb. These are 2 very solid pitchers, by the way. Julio Arias 3.63 ERA with a 1.06 WHIP. Logan Webb 3.54 ERA with a 1.25 WHIP. It looks like LA Dodgers are getting about minus 120ish on the road, and San Francisco's getting about even money at home. See how starting pitchers do home and away. It looks like Julio Arias struggles a little bit more on the road, but still a very good pitcher with 3.43 ERA, on-base percentage of 263, and a WHIP of under 1. In his last 3, his stats are pretty much the exact same. Logan Webb is very, very good pitcher at home. 1.64 ERA, on-base percentage of 280, and his WHIP is at a 1 flat. His on-base percentage in his last 3 has gone down, but his ERA and WHIP has gone up a little bit, but are still very, very good numbers. I want to check out their game log real quick, just to see. Julio Arias game log, earned runs 1.4, 1.1, 2.6, 2.3, 1.6. So it's good for a run or 2, but probably not much more. He has been throwing some fucking heat too. Logan Webb, 61 innings this year, so not a huge sample size, but still decent. But has just been fucking ripping the leather off the ball when he throws the ball. It's unbelievable. 3 to 5, 3 to 6 innings, earned run log 2.100101063. So looks like he struggled in his first 2 starts, and then ever since then, he has been a monster on the mound. He's given up 2 home runs. His last game, he gave up a few more walks than what he's used to, but man, he has been an absolute animal. I want to see the line for this real quick. Actually, the Giants are getting favored by the public with 59% of tickets and 57% of money. So they're kind of seeing the same thing that we're seeing. Man, this just kind of goes back to the fact that if you can find Giants at plus money, it's always a good spot.
Yeah.
Now it is the Dodgers, but San Francisco is at home. We're the 31-15 this year. Very, very good home team. Number 1 defense in the league now. 6th ranked offense in the league now. I don't know if it's worth betting games that are Giants versus Dodgers. It seems like they're always relatively lower scoring, right at the under-over total. They always get like 8 or 9 runs.
Breaking. Marc-Andre Fleury was just traded to the Chicago Blackhawks.
Wow. So, Lehner it is. Or no, not Lehner. Who's their back? Yeah, Lehner.
Yep.
So they're in Lehner. So that's interesting, because I'm guessing Lehner was on the draft list for the expansion draft, and they didn't take him. Maybe it was Marc-Andre Fleury on it. I don't know. I actually don't know. But they have to put up one of them.
Mm-hmm.
They would have to put up one of them. And this is just like we saw with Taylor Hall in the Boston Bruins, where it was like the day after the expansion draft, Taylor Hall was signed to a contract extension. So I wonder if they were holding on to him to see if Lehner was going to get taken. And since Lehner didn't get taken, they dished out Marc-Andre Fleury, which is the right move. I'm kind of, do I like him in my division? Do I not like him in my division?
It seems to be purely
contract based.
Yep. They're not retaining any salary. They're only getting an AHL forward. Mikhail Hakarainen.
Nice. Good attempt.
Hakarainen.
I have some experience with the Mikhail Hakarainen.
But there's just 2 N's. That's where I get tripped up.
Hakarainen. Yeah, I don't know, man. Anyways, wait, what does that say that Marc-Andre Fleury's cap hit? Fleury is under contract through next season at a $7 million cap hit. No wonder why they dealt him. Yeah. Holy shit. That's a lot of money for a goalie. Still.
Hakarainen.
Yeah, something like that. But it's probably the right move. I think I actually kind of enjoy Marc-Andre Fleury in my division. It seemed like he was kind of losing it at the end of last season, even though he did win best goalie in the league, which wasn't quite his to take, but good for Marc-Andre Fleury. He's still playing, man. He's still getting dealt to teams, and he's probably still a starter on the Chicago Blackhawks, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, so yes, I don't think the Giants and Dodgers games are actually worth betting. Every single game seems like there's some late game heroics or something crazy that goes on. They're all right at the under-over total. I think Vegas just has these games fucking nailed. And I'm sure they do because
Hakarainen.
All right.
Hakarainen.
Even though I don't think he's Japanese, but... anyways, 10-10, we have Houston Astros at the Seattle Mariners. Lance McCullers Jr. is on the mound for Houston at minus 165. Chris Flexen on the mound for Seattle at plus 140. There's free pick. Can we get some spread knowledge here today? I have not had any spread knowledge here today. Spread knowledge!
Hey.
Oh, boo. Only goes back to May 2021. Dumb.
That might be helpful.
Ooh, yeah, wait.
You stupid idiot.
Hey, spread knowledge every once in a while comes out with some gems. These are actually kind of decent. Machine value grade B, by the way.
Okay.
Seattle Mariners are 21-7-0 as underdogs since 2021, since June 11th. So a month and a half, they're 21-7 as an underdog with plus 22 units.
Ooh.
I'm sorry. Spread knowledge, haven't the fellas been saying that since like the beginning of the MLB season, that the Mariners are a huge dark horse team and are way overvalued every single time?
Yeah, we did say that.
Yeah, I think we said that.
We did say that.
Just maybe. Anyways, let's jump into this game a little bit. Lance McCullers Jr., 3.04 ERA with a 1.2 whip. Chris Flexen, very, very similar pitcher. 3.35 ERA, 1.21 whip. They even average the same amount of innings pitched at 5.2. Astros getting, obviously, the first-ranked offense. Lance McCullers Jr. on the road, 2.66 ERA, on-base percentage of 300 with a whip of 1.28. Chris Flexen on the at-home, 1.89 ERA, whip of under 1, and a 260 on-base percentage. And believe it or not, his stats in his last three are even better. Quite impressive. Seattle has good value here. And that sucks to say against the Houston Astros because it's the Houston Astros, but Seattle has very good value here. I'm going to look at McCullers Jr.'s game log. Yeah. Earned run game log 4-1-2-2-2-2-1-3-0-1. So obviously solid pitcher, but is susceptible to some runs. Chris Flexen on the other hand, earned run log 2-1-0-1-3-1-0-3-5-0. Now he has not gone against a Houston Astros team whose bats are fucking incredible. I'm looking at the closest one I can find to the Houston Astros, and it looks like Toronto, and he did get shelled a little bit against Toronto. Only gave up 3 earned runs across 5 innings, but gave up 7 hits. That was his lowest amount of strikeouts. He walked 3 people. The reason I'm looking at the Toronto one is because that's the one team that can kind of assimilate the Astros bats with being, I think, the number 3 offense in the MLB right now. Because other than that, they've taken on Oakland. Bats aren't good. LA Angels, bats are okay. He did very well against them. LA Angels, bats are okay. Did very well against them. Texas, bats are terrible. Did very well. Toronto struggled a little bit, but 7 hits isn't that bad when you're only giving up 3 earned runs. Colorado, bats are terrible. Minnesota, on the road, bats are terrible. Detroit, bats are pretty good. Laid into them a little bit. Oakland laid into them. So, I don't know. Chris Flexen, great pitcher, but is he a great pitcher against the Houston Astros? That's the question. What are our team total overs here? Because the over-under is set at 8, and that's interesting.
Not very high. What? Mariners is 3.5 plus 105. Ooh, me likey. Also, Astros 4.5 minus 115, which is not bad.
Both itself, of those are solid. Stephanie said, crazy to me that the over is set at 8 considering last night's game ended at 19, I think. Is that line showing respect to the pitching? I think it is showing respect to the pitching. Because Chris Flexen is a fucking incredible pitcher. He really is. He's a very good pitcher. And Lance McCullers Jr. gets overshadowed by the fact that he's on the Astros with other good pitchers, but he is also a extremely exceptional pitcher. But I do see points where Lance McCullers Jr. could get laid into. The Mariners' bats are good. Actually, what are the percentages on this game? I did not check the percentages because this might tell us something, actually. Astros getting 66% of tickets, 75% of money, so it's a stack, but it's nothing crazy. What's the total at? Again, 93% of people on the over. 54% of tickets, 93% of money. Man, I could see it being 8 runs too. That's the problem. I see a 5-3 game coming. I will say Seattle at plus 1.5 at minus 115 is looking very nice, and I bet that plus 2.5 looks even nicer. I don't think Houston runs away with this game. I think it stays close. I don't think there's a team out there that can really toss around Chris Flexen that much. Maybe they can get 3 or 4, maybe 4 runs on him. But man, getting more than that, I would see as a struggle. I think I like both team total overs.
Yeah.
I don't know what Lance McCullers Jr. is going to throw. I really don't. And that's the one thing keeping me away from this whole thing. It looks like he's regressing a little bit, but at the same time, strikeouts are up, pitches are down, walks are down, home runs are down. Eep! I'm not sure. I want to lay a line really bad. I want to lay a line really bad on that game. It's Stephanie, I think you're on the right track with the over 8. These pitchers are good enough to where that line does make sense. That's my only thing keeping me away from it. Maybe a revisit later on in the day, because that is a 10-10 game. That's literally 10 hours away. We got plenty of time to sit on it. There is a free pick on that game. What is it? Spread knowledge? Spread knowledge. Oh, we already went through that one. Duh. Anyways, last game, also 10-10. We have Oakland A's with James James K on the mound for Oakland at plus 135 on the road, going against Chris Paddock and the Padres at minus 160 going at home. We do have spread knowledge on this one. Oh, here's a 2019 bet. Here we go. Oh, I don't know what this means. Oakland Athletics are 24, 22, and 0. 24, 22, and 0. Money line within plus or minus 5% of current money line plus 2.36000 since May 10th of 2019 with a profit of plus 11 units. They just spread their knowledge.
Dude did not impress me, spread knowledge. I don't know what that means, and it's only 24 and 20 or whatever.
Kind of impressive, though. They did take Oakland at plus 135 against the Padres. Let's look at that, huh? James K for the Oakland, because I did Caprillion. It's got to be close. 2.65 ERA with a 1.12 whip. Chris Paddock, 4.76 ERA with a 1.29 whip. Before I go any further, I really want to see the tickets on this because I want to see. I have a feeling the Athletics are going to know they're. Oh, that's an under over bet. It's silly. It's so silly. Let me find it. Hang on. All right. Yes, this is completely fucked up on the lines. Padres getting 53% of tickets, but only 33% of money. So we are seeing the parlays on the Padres, which makes me like Oakland even more. I like the starting pitching matchup on Oakland even more, but I need to dive into it a little bit more. James K does really struggle on the road pitching. He's a 4 flat ERA compared to his 2.65 on the season. On-base percentage goes up to a 320 compared to his 280, and whip goes up to a 131 compared to his 112. So definitely struggles a little bit more on the road. Has been very good in his last 3, however. 284 on-base percentage with a 117 whip and a 1.5 ERA, so very, very solid. Chris Paddock has struggled. At home, 6 flat ERA with an on-base percentage of 361 and a whip of 165. ERA in his last 3 is a 9 flat with an on-base percentage of 350 and a whip of 158. Struggling. Man is struggling.
A little bit there.
8.5 seems very low for this game. Please tell me Oakland's getting like 3.5. Because we're going to slam the fuck out of that.
3.5 minus 130.
Woo! Beautiful. Honestly, Oakland to win too. I don't mind that at all. There are a lot of underdog bets today. There are a lot.
It's a dog day.
It's a dog day. We should throw some big ass parlay out there because it is a dog day. Dog day.
Woo!
Alright, just to recap, because there are some good dogs and everything. First game, Pittsburgh-Milwaukee. Fuck that. Stay away from it. Second game, Miami-Baltimore. Miami all the way. Sandy Alcantara, that's all you need to know. Washington-Philly. Both shitty pitchers. Stay away. Maybe the over. But we don't trust either of those teams. And as you said, Philly is very good at home, and it just screws up all the stats.
Yep.
St. Louis, Cleveland. Adam Wainwright on the road, not a very good pitcher. Cleveland at plus 100. Now as we found, there's better dogs than Cleveland, so maybe we just want to stay away from that one. However, I do like Cleveland as a dog today. Robbie Ray versus Garrett Richards for Toronto versus Boston. I think that's a complete stay away game. I think Toronto Blue Jays wins the game because Robbie Ray is better than Garrett Richards. However, there's a couple signs that Robbie Ray could be regressioning from how good he's been playing this season. It's also the Boston Red Sox, who have been playing very well and seem to kind of come out of nowhere whenever they want to. I think Toronto Blue Jays win that game, but they are getting stacked on, so maybe it's not worth it at the minus 128. I don't know. Charlie Morton is on the mound for the Braves, but we do not know the Mets pitcher. Do not bet against Charlie Morton. I don't care who the Mets pitcher is. Just don't bet on the Mets today. Don't bet against Charlie Morton. Arizona Diamondbacks and Texas Rangers. I would have laid the over on the Texas Rangers because I think Tyler Widener is susceptible to being attacked. However, Texas Rangers lost their last 11 games, have only gone over 4.5 one game in their past 11. We're not laying that line. Yankees versus Tampa Bay. Jordan Montgomery versus Shane McClanahan. I think that just Shane McClanahan is a better pitcher than Jordan Montgomery. Tampa Bay Rays are a better team than New York Yankees. They're getting stacked on a little bit, but I do like Tampa Bay. Throw them in a parlay at minus 140-ish of some kind, because I don't think individually that's enough juice to lay it by or that's too much juice to lay it by itself. Chicago White Sox, Kansas City. There's going to be runs. Both pitchers not great. Looks like Brad Keller might be progressing a little bit. Dylan Cease might be regressing a little bit, but it's still the White Sox versus the Royals. Royals on a 6-game winning streak. White Sox haven't been playing as well recently. Plus 130 for the Royals might be the value that you want, but I am not going to lay it because it's the White Sox against Kansas City Royals. Cincinnati versus the Cubbies. I think there's insane value on the Cincinnati Reds today. I know Adbert Alzolay is a better pitcher than Gutierrez, but he's not that much better to say a minus 180 and a plus 165. I would just be taking the Reds for the value alone today. Colorado against the Angels. Austin Gumber, look out for him. Don't be throwing Angels in a parlay. I don't think it's a good idea. Gumber's very solid. Sean likes the over.
Yes,
pulls
sir.
up some stats and everything. The over looks like a decent play. I'm 50-50 on it because I think Gumber's good, but I also think he can get laid into because he's not a stud by any means. And Jose Suarez is definitely susceptible to some runs. So maybe we throw that one out there for a little free pick. You got another one that you like too. What was it, first five to over 2.5 someone?
Yeah, that was the...
Anyways, once you figure that out. Tyler Alexander on the mound for Detroit at plus 168 against Kenta Maeda and the Minnesota Twins at minus 184. This is kind of
the Royals one.
The Royals one was over 2.5 first five.
I think so.
Over 2.5 first five for the Royals. Tyler Alexander and Kenta Maeda. Again, this is kind of like the Cincinnati Reds thing. The Minnesota Twins should not be getting minus 184 against the Detroit Tigers. However, the public are on the Tigers today, so it makes me like Kenta Maeda and the Twins at minus 184 because that juice is way too high, which means they know that line should be high for a reason. So I don't think there's a ton of value on the Detroit Tigers today. However, I'm not going to tell you not to take them because the Twins aren't that great. Giants, Dodgers, stay away from it. These games have been crazy. They've been sporadic. It's worth probably live betting if you can get one of the teams at really good odds at one point because either of these teams are never out of the game as they've shown every single time they've played. But it's not worth my money laying it down with Julio Rice and Logan Webb on the mound. Two very good pitchers. Anything can happen during that game. If you want to just go for value, take the Giants because they're at home with plus money, and the Giants should never be getting plus money at home. It should be a pick 'em. Seattle and Houston, Lance McCullers Jr. versus Chris Flexen. These are two very, very, very solid pitchers. I do think either one could get lit up at any time, but there is value on Seattle Mariners. I think like a plus 2.5. Stephanie, you kind of got me on that now. I think that the Seattle... Wait, sorry. What was I saying?
You're on the Seattle.
Yes.
Mariners.
Seattle is a very good team.
Yeah.
I think they could end up winning this game, but that plus 2.5 is... I know the plus 1.5 is still at plus 115.
Yeah.
Minus 115, which means the plus 2.5 has got to be very solid. The last game of the day, Oakland. I think you just take Oakland things. Take their team total over. Take their money.
The team
line.
total over was very nice.
The team total over is very nice. That is a very nice line at minus 130. You maybe take that with the Marlins or just lay it by itself. Maybe I don't really know. But very solid over 3.5 against Chris Paddock. Chris Paddock has not been solid. I think it's a good spot. That's it for the MLB today. That's it for the bets.
Yeah.
Whew. What a day.
It's a lot of games.
What a day. Our viewers have gone up now that the show is ending. That's cool. Once again, thank you all for tuning in. If you saw our tweet yesterday, I did tweet out that the first piece of the studio came in and is built. And
it is built. It's over there.
It's ready to go. Second
there.
piece came in yesterday. If you know the little decoration.
Yeah.
That could be really cool. But we are excited. We are not far out from our final actual studio, the last moving. We're excited though. Hope you guys are too. Appreciate everyone in here.
Absolutely.
Stephanie, Braxton, even though Braxton, Jason, Magna Carta stopped by. Yeah, and I know there's plenty of you out there. I can see that you're all watching. I know that Cam was probably in here, and Jason's around, and Omar tunes in every once in a while, and maybe Isaac is out there, and the boys are probably out there a little bit. We appreciate everyone who tunes in. It's Fine Tuesday. Watch some Olympics.
Yeah.
Baseball's pretty good today. No early games, so definitely watch the Olympics. No sports for a while today. Not till 7:10. VIP picks will probably be out in about an hour once I go through everything once more. Look at a couple more things, just see what value plays out. Yeah, that's it for today.
That's it for today.
That's it for today. You got anything else?
I don't have anything.
All right. Well,
go to heyfellas.com.
Yeah, we're gonna be a little more active on Twitter today with free plays. I think we got plenty of lanes
there's
and
a
things
lot
that
of games
out there. And there'll be a full VIP slate.
Go to heyfellas.co. Get a shirt, dude.
Get a shirt. Use BetUS if you need any bets.
They're super limited edition because no one's buying them. So you'll be one.
Dude, where's the Dirty Socks merchandise?
Bro, it's a touchy subject.
Why? I want Dirty Socks merchandise. I want Be Nice to You merchandise with Braxton puking on the back of the shirt.
Be Nice to You one also. That one does need to.
I want it, bro. I want it. I need it. I
need it.
All right, that's it for this Tuesday, 12:20. Get out of here. Go win some money tonight.
Yeah.
Go put the right bets in. Go tweet out your tickets when you win, because I don't care what anyone else says that they don't like it when you do it. I love it. I love to see winners. I love to see money. Go win some money, fellas. We're out of here. See you tomorrow at 10 a.m., 10 to 12, Monday through Friday.
As always.
As always. We'll be back with more news. More things to talk about.
I sure hope so.
And we're one day closer to football season.
Because if there isn't anything to talk about, the whole idea for this show is just ruined.
Yeah, we're shit out of luck. We're one day closer to football, everyone. One day. Take it day by day. We don't got much longer, fellas. We're almost there.
Day by day.
And when it's here, you better be fucking ready, because it is going to be hot, it's going to be heavy, and it's going to get spicy in the studio.
There will be some conflict.
Bye, fellas. Have a good one.
Bye, fellas.